crank it up loud. Let the story unfold. We're the masters of slash. Be brave and be bold. In the heart of the battle, we'll rise from the ground. With every beat pumping in a warrior sound.
Hey, hello and welcome to the Smash Masters podcast, where we talk about collision repair, PDR, everything in between. I'm Stefan Esche. That's Nick Priest. And tonight's show is brought to you by Black Magic PDR Tips.
Right. We talk about all this stuff on Mondays, though, not Tuesday.
Is it Tuesday?
So it's a little different, but we're still here and we still made the week.
We did. Because we made sure we got live for you guys. We know you count on us going live every week. So
Right.
yeah. I got my new Body Women hat on. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Cass
I've
sent
got
me that.
one too. Cass sent me one, and if I would have thought about it, I would have put mine on, but I did not.
No worries. But so I mean, if you are that's all right, Nick.
What's
Thanks
up,
for
buddy?
hopping in. We'll
Yeah,
see
man.
you next time. If
What's up,
you
Michael?
are a woman in the bodywork field, there is a group on Facebook that's private for women in the bodywork field. I can't get in. They won't.
Right.
let
I got in for a little bit and it kicked me right back out.
me too, actually.
Sending the invite was a total
I got
mistake.
the
They're like,
invite and I was like,
Right.
oh, okay.
I'm in a body women club. Here we go. This is going to be great. And they kicked us right out.
Yeah, right out. But you can go, anybody can go to their Instagram and follow their Instagram where
Chris?
they shoot. What's up, Chris? They share videos from all their members very regularly. I think Cass runs the group. She does a great job. And even if she's got help, they do a great job.
Right.
The Body Women group, go follow them on Instagram. And if you
That's
are
a
one,
cool group.
go join them. Yeah, no, I'm really, I can't wait to start having members of it on the show for women in the trade kind of series.
Right. Yeah, that's a cool thing. That's yet to be done until now.
Yep. I got one other thing to talk about.
Alex?
Do you know what that is?
What is that?
This Facebook giveaway and Instagram that we're doing. The Mo Clamps Mini Tack and Pull set. If you would like to win a set of these tack and pull plates, it comes with a bunch of those little ones. It comes with like
A lot of
12 or 18 of them. Like there's a bunch of them, as many as they could fit into that box. They did.
Right.
And the puller itself. And yeah, make sure to head over to our Facebook, our Instagram, and enter the giveaway.
Yeah, it's gonna be some good stuff right there. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. I mean, I use mine, and PDR guys don't shy away from it. These things, if you have to pull like from like an edge from a door jamb, glue one of these into that door jamb, you can close the door still while you pull. So you know when you've pulled enough. You fit a big plastic tab in there, you're not going to close that door anymore.
Right.
So these are cool. Go and enter.
Do you have to use bare metal glue only though?
No,
not
at all. If you honestly, they come with a nice smooth finish on them. You just use that, it's fine.
Right.
But if you take these plates and you polish them, they're going to be just as strong, if not stronger, than your plastic glue tabs.
Right. They will do some heavy pulling. I've pulled a bunch with them. I've seen you doing it recently too. A couple other people, but that's fun stuff.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, I mean, we got a great show for you guys tonight. We're starting to do more topics.
Branching out a little bit.
Right. Trying to keep, I mean, obviously we'll still bring in the regular technician guests and everything, but
Sure.
we saw that video. I mean, obviously before this video was a big deal, but the Ford CEO coming out talking about,
that thing blew up.
right? Talking about the technician shortage in the automotive service field. And we all know that the auto body field is no different. So we want to talk about technician shortage. So this is the first in a series. on that, and we brought in somebody who owns a body shop, and hear what he has to say about it. What do you think?
Yeah, let's go with it. I'm sure he's got some great stuff to go along with it.
All right, our guest is
Mhm.
Mark Probst of Probst Auto Body. Thanks
So,
for
Mark,
coming in.
Hey guys, how you doing?
doing
Good,
well.
good.
Doing
So
well.
to start out, I'll say that I seen you speak on Dave Lure's positivity seminar, and that's how you grabbed my attention. Uh, did you just do it that one time, or is that a yearly thing for you?
I did it with David Lure. I did his positivity summit, I think 3 or 4 times,
Okay.
back to back. I got to meet him. It's interesting because, quick, funny story. So my neighbor, my next door neighbor, we lived out in the country. We're in rural America, right? Like,
Right.
and my next door neighbor was a girl, same class as mine, same little school, same high school. And we was out in rural, nobody's around. So we was like really good friends. And,
Mhm.
years go by. She moves away to Nashville, Tennessee, and years go by. And, maybe message her on Facebook here or there, like not close, but ends up she is David Lure's next door neighbor. Swear to God.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
and then when she came home to visit her parents. I mean, she comes home, 2, 3, 4 times a year to visit and stuff. And the one time she stopped by my shop, and she literally like gave me David's book, signed autograph with David's book.
Nice.
It's just funny. Like my neighbor growing up, and then she became David's next door neighbor. So just a funny story about David Lure. So
That's a coincidence.
yeah.
And then they say something like 6 degrees of separation, with anybody in the world.
I
So,
know. Yeah. Like,
crazy.
yeah. How when the stars line up, it's just so interesting how that goes. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah,
That's
no,
wild.
I did David's Positivity Summit for 3 or 4 years. I've also, for any of the technicians or body shop owners, when Fender Bender was doing their conference, they did their yearly conference for quite a number of years. I went and spoke at that probably 4 or 5 years in a row, about different topics, kind of depending on what's going on in the industry. But
Sure.
was always excited to go just talk about whatever's happening, just like we are tonight, guys.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's kind of why I reached out to you. I know you're willing to take the time and give back and everything and help others. So appreciate you doing that. So you're a body shop owner. When did you start Probst Auto Body?
So my backstory, like you guys, I mean, day I graduated high school, I started working in funny story, like I told you guys about my career day. I actually started working in an International Western Star dealership in the body shop the day
Okay.
after I graduated high school, detailing semis. Went to school for 2 years for auto body, worked in the body got moved from detailing to the body shop. I did that for 2 years. Then I ended up in the paint shop for the last 6 years. So I was 9 years working for somebody else in the body shop on semis.
Yeah.
I never was my intention to work on a semi. Nobody in my family is a truck driver, but it's just where I got started.
Just where you landed, huh?
Yeah. In the meantime, I was going home every night and working on hot rods, the old car restorations. I've been an avid drag racer on and off for 30 years now.
Right.
Okay.
So
Cool.
yeah, as I was doing all this and I was working on other people's stuff at night, just like you guys talked about, I heard you guys were telling me, you're working in a body shop and you're doing PDR stuff and you burning that candle as much as you can. And that's exactly what I was doing back then. And
Okay.
a couple things happened, but it kind of some pivot points in my life. And I mean, I was in my early 20s, but I was 26 years old when I started Probst Auto Body.
26.
Wow.
Yep. And this January will be 23 years that I've been in business now. So I'll let you guys do the math. I'm not.
Right.
No,
Right.
that's a young age to go and start a body shop.
I knew nothing about business. It was
Maybe that's a good thing.
Barely knew how to fix a car.
Right.
The more I learned about auto body, the less I wanted to own a shop.
I
Personally.
know.
Um,
It was probably good. I didn't know that much about it. Like you kind of go in blind and then you just got to figure it out, right?
yeah,
Right.
yeah. So, all right. So you've got the technician background before you started the body work.
Mhm.
I think that's real good for your future employees there, because
Right.
it's nice when your employer knows what you deal with day to day.
Yeah, there's never a day. I mean, I see it in my shop, daily, weekly. Like somebody's having a bad day or something's not fitting, or paint. I put a run in the clear coat. Whatever it is like I can't.
Mhm.
I mean, I've been there. I've been there. I've done it. Like, and even I don't so much anymore. I mean, if I'm working in my shop now, it doesn't happen too often. But like, I know what a good day is. I know what a bad day is. There's nothing in the shop that I can't do. I'm not going to say I'm great at it. And if I do jump and work on the car, I can bet you the employees are looking at my work to see how good I am anymore. But
Yeah. Right.
I can be a little rusty, but yeah, it's real to me though. It's just real. Like I know what it's like.
Right.
Right.
You've done both, so you can kind of sympathize with both sides.
No, it's
Yeah, and
it's
I go
good.
home. My son's 21 and he's in the body shop too. But we go home at night, and I mean, it's not uncommon for us to be out in the shed working on some project. Like, so,
Yeah.
Nice. Now, you working
Yeah.
on anything right now?
yeah, we're just putting the race car away, the drag car away for winter. Trying to get that done. We're finishing up a trailer project. It's just stuff that you do. But then over the winter, I'm going to go back on my '57 Chevy that I've been working on off and on for the whole classic story. Like it's been what I don't even want to count 8-9 years now, but it's
Yeah.
painted. It's painted, and we're down to like making it run again. Let's put it that way.
Well, you're making progress. Then you're better than me. I've got projects just as long, and I haven't touched them that long. So,
Right.
Yeah.
It's
When they say 10-20 year project, it's like that stuff's real, man. Like I totally get it. I'm that guy.
for sure.
Yeah. It's a long time.
So I'd like to definitely get into our topic though. Did you see the video from the Ford CEO, or at least parts of it, online?
I don't know if I did see that one. You'll have to remind me. He was talking about the technician shortage though.
Yeah, he's talking about he had like 6,000 bays that needed to be filled in his at in all his shops at the dealerships and stuff. And they were kind of like he said the problem was kind of a complicated problem, didn't know really how to go with it from what I could tell. I mean, and then but if you look at all the texts, they're pretty much telling you, hey, warranty times, labor times, they're terrible. And like Toyota, if they say something's like 14 hours and all their techs are doing it in say 8 hours, 9 hours, well, it goes from the hours they previously had to 8 hours, and then they cut it from there again. So they're pretty much cutting warranty times and labor times down to next to nothing, but wanting people to stay there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a horrible design.
Yeah, and you hear that, and then you hear the Bucky's gas station that's advertising
Right.
starting wages at $20+ an hour,
Right, right.
managers up to $100,000 a year, and it's just like how are you going to draw people into the industry when this is going on?
Right, and they got beef jerky in there full time. So I mean, you can't lose there.
I did work in a body shop that had a convenience store attached to it once. That was a nice benefit. I will say.
Right, and you don't have to buy any tools. You just show up.
I know. But the thing is though, like you said, like like we was talking earlier, like in high school, I knew I wanted to work on cars. Like I know I could. There's other jobs out there you could go and maybe make more money, but like I don't want to work at a gas station. I don't want to, I like beef jerky, but I don't want to be the guy making beef jerky.
Right.
So like, how do the question always gets brought up is like how do we get the techs more involved in the industry and you not only get them interested, but then get them hired and then retain them, and it's an ongoing process. It really is.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely, it is.
So are you more let's start at the beginning of your process. Let's say you need a technician. So what or no, let's say You need a new team member, not technician, a new team member.
Sure.
Yeah, right.
Let's say that. So where do you start? What do you go? Where do you?
So if there's, I could rewind back, but I'll just kind of from that question, from that pivot point forward,
Sure.
is, you know, when we do need a new team member, we're going to hit social media, and that's where if we're going to put an ad out there, that's where we're going to advertise it.
Okay.
I'm going to back up a second
Please
because
do. Yeah.
a lot of times we've been having high school we have high school kids that come to our shop every year. We got an automotive program where we're doing an internship here right now. I go and I do various things with different high school students, automotive groups. And a lot of times we do, like last month, I did a career fair for all the, not just the local high school, but it was like, I don't know, it was like a 3-county career fair. It was all high school students all afternoon.
Okay.
So we're constantly trying to get names, applications, interest to see who's interested. We save those. You know, I don't need 100 technicians, but you know, and a lot of times when we're doing those, we don't need anybody. Like, right? So,
Right.
But if we have the interest there, it's like, hey, fill the sheet out. You know, it's just a simple. You know, we might have a simple application form. Fill the sheet out, and we'll just keep them at our, you know, out our wayside. So if we need somebody, I said, we'll always refer back to that first, you know, but, you know, but like I said, we'll go ahead and do that. You know, I mean, I don't even know what it is. I mean, everything we do now, like I said, we just go to social media between the, you know, Facebook, and I got guys that help me do it, you know, the TikTok and Snapchat, and we try to put it out there on social media, Instagram. I'm trying to, like me, I'm not the guy doing it all, but I said, I know we put it out there on social media.
Yeah.
But we try to plant those seeds, you know, all the time. So when we need a technician, we don't have to look too hard or hunt too hard for that, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
So you're pretty much, are you attending these events consistently? Like they happen, you go no matter what.
Yeah, we see it with the career fair. We've been doing those for a number of years. Like I've always, usually myself, sometimes my wife will go, sometimes I might send a manager, just to make sure somebody's there.
So, yeah.
And it's funny because some of these career fairs, it'll be like every factory you can imagine. Like they got a whole, I was like the outsider coming in because every factory has their HR person, and they all, like, you can tell they do this all the time because they're all like know each other. They all know each other's kids. And it's like,
right.
Here's Mark. Who's this guy showing? Who's this little auto body shop showing up? I was like, I don't care. To me, I'm putting it out there because there might be 1 out of 100 or maybe 1 out of 500, but I don't care if I can impact that one person. That's what I'm here for today.
Right.
And besides, they're twofold. So I'm kind of greedy because somebody's going to have an accident. One of these people that I talk to, you know, I'm always, you know, I look at it twofold. Like I'm always just planting the seed, like the Probst auto body name. I said, if I don't get any applications today, if nobody's interested in auto body, you know what? I had 500 kids that came through here and saw Probst auto body's name, you know?
Right.
For sure. Yeah.
Right. So it's networking and showing up, and making a scene and all that. So, yeah, I wish more body shop owners would go to things and be part of their local and even regional markets to do that kind of stuff. I know a lot of people here as body shop owners don't even go to anything like that.
Right.
No, it's really, you know, I don't say it's cliche. All the consultants, everybody that's in the industry that does any teaching says it, you know, it's, you know, the Dave Ramsey, all these guys working on your business, in your business. And I said, I've learned that years ago. And I said, for me, that's when the really magic happens is, you know, I'm not involved in the day-to-day operations, you know, I'm behind the scenes, but it's everything else behind that, you know, all the marketing, the public relations side of it. That's what I'm involved in. So, and that's just one piece of it. The high schools, the career fairs, you know how you say, you know, you talk about you plant seeds and you wait for them to grow and you don't know when it's going to happen. I'll tell you the story. 10 years ago, I was asked to be part of a board of directors for a career academy. All the local superintendents and all the local high school superintendents the local community college got involved, and they wanted to start this career academy focusing on trades. And it's funny because it's like I'm sitting in there, and I was like, I was a protege of this. It was like it was enlightening for me to hear this, because probably like you guys, correct me if I'm wrong, you know, when you guys got out of high school, did you guys not ever hear, like, if you don't go get a 4-year degree, you're not going to be nothing?
Oh yeah, I had to go to college.
You
Had
have
to go to college.
Everybody, if you don't go to college, you're not gonna make anything out of your life, right?
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Yeah,
what they
you
told
heard
us.
the same thing, Nick.
Yep.
Yeah.
College was supposed to be like the only key out there.
That's the step after high school. High school,
Of
then
course.
college. That's it. It's
Yeah,
what you do.
of course, you know, I stuck with that tried and true. I went ahead and I quit school. So I went the opposite path. I was like, well, we're going to see what happens in real life. So that's what I did.
Yeah. So we're in this meeting, and it's a handful of business owners and all these superintendents of high schools, and the I don't know what you call him, the head guy at the local college. And they realize the realization's there. And I mean, it's not, I'm not blaming anybody, but they was like, we need more skilled trades. Like,
Right.
we can't find plumbers, we can't find electricians, we can't find bricklayers, we can't find automotive technicians. So, and I'm not kidding you when I say this, 10 years ago, these meetings started happening, and I'm not like in that kind of world. Like, I was out of my element, because, you know, the couple of superintendents they had doctorate degrees, and apparently you're supposed to call them a doctor. I didn't know that. That's a learning lesson for you guys.
Right.
Okay, good to know.
So if you got a doctorate degree, you're supposed to call them a doctor. I learned that lesson.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, so I stayed on this board for 3 years, and I couldn't take it anymore. Like, it was meeting after meeting, and nothing ever happened. And I was like, I don't like to see, you know, in the small business world, you make something happen, you just do it, and then you try to figure it out, right? Good, bad, right or wrong, fail or not fail.
Right.
So I got off the board. So fast forward 7 years. Kudos to these guys. Kudos for doing this, and I'm absolutely got the utmost respect. 10 years later, this program kicks off. There was let me rephrase that. 2 years ago, the program kicked off, but they didn't have an automotive division.
Okay.
This year, they was ready to kick off the automotive division. All the red tape for 10 years, finally kicked it off, and they called me. And it's funny, because usually when you leave somebody, they don't want you back. Like, you're the a-hole that left. And I was
Right.
And they're like, Mark, hey, we'd like you to start coming to these meetings again. We're ready to kick off the automotive division. I was like, all right, that's cool. I'll come. I'll see, you know. Fast forward, they needed it. It's ready to kick off. It involves all the county high schools. So that's like 5 or 7 county high schools.
Okay.
For any kids that want to go into automotive. I'm like, all right, cool. We partner up with 5 businesses that these kids aren't going to go to school. They're going to go to work for an hour and a half every day in one of these 5 businesses. So the ball's in motion. And then we was having a meeting one morning, and my proteges, nobody could show up that day but me. The other 5 businesses, I show up, and they're like, "Oh, Mark, we need a teacher for this class." And I was like,
Oh no.
You're the only one there.
Like, I'm the only one there. And I was like,
Oh, no.
what do you need? Like, what do you need for this? And I was like, well, we got to go to the state website and do all the forms and fill out paperwork, blah, blah, blah. I was like, if we do this, will this program kick off? Like, is this what you need? And I was like, and then like, yeah, but we have to have somebody that has, you know, on the job experience with, I don't know, it's a stupid, you know, however many hours on the job experience. And
yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm in. If this is what it takes to kick this off, I'm in. So
Wow.
I am the automotive teacher for this new program. We don't go to school. They come to my shop. They go to 5 of us total for this automotive program. So it's things like, I'm sharing this story because it's things like this. It's like, you can't just sit back, and we was talking earlier, you know, I remember like on the positivity summit, like I go to these meetings, I travel across the country for meetings, and it's like, somebody always says, I can't find technicians. And then my question is, and I try not to be arrogant, but I'm like, what are you doing about it?
Right.
Right.
Crickets.
Right.
Nothing.
Crickets. Yeah.
Right. as if it's the problem and there's nothing I can do about it. It's the problem. That's my excuse.
They opened up the
Yeah.
perfect shop and just having the wrong people show up the whole time, waiting on the right crew to get there.
I
Yeah.
know, and and then some of these times I spoke at this at Fender Bender too, and I actually will show I have the picture. I'll show it of our town. The town my shop is in. My original, my main shop. I got two shops. My main shop, the town is in. It's in a town of 650 people.
Mm-hmm.
But I was very impressed. I literally last week I went to work I don't know. So they're supposed to update it during we have a really good small town. Like, I mean, I'm serious about that. Like it's a
Okay.
growing community. There's a lot of industry here, but 650 is the population. Well,
Mhm.
2020, they're supposed to update it through the whatever you call it that they do. Well, COVID happened. Just this week, I looked at this sign and it went up to 950 people, and I'm like, hell yeah, we're almost to 1,000 people.
Wow.
And then I'm sitting in a class and somebody says, I can't find no technicians, and I'm like, where are you from? He's like, Los Angeles or Chicago or St. Louis, and I'm like, you don't even go there, brother. Like,
Jeez.
you know, you got that much population. Like, there's guys out there. Like, there are guys out there, you know. And I'm like, yeah, I'm in a town of less than 1,000 people, and I said I can find technicians.
Right.
So,
Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I was like, I gotta get this guy on the show. But
Did you ever figure out or just by talking to some of these guys like why they weren't getting technicians or anything? Or
most of the time, I mean, like I said, I joke about it. Most of the time, it's the same thing. Like, I mean, it's you really got to put yourself out. I mean, you can't just sit there. I mean, I have a lot of friends. I mean, a lot of guys that run really, really good shops, great reputations. Even sometimes you hear those guys have the same problem, but it's like, okay, it's like, what are you doing? You know, what are you doing for it? I mean, there's guys that have really good social media presence. I think that's important because, I mean, every young kid out there has, I don't, if you can't go out and go to the high schools, if you can't go and build these groups,
Right.
you guys got some cool TikToks, you got some cool Snapchat profiles, like, because that will still draw the young technicians. Even ourselves, when the career fairs I was talking about, like, we had flyers made up. I have, I'm trying to think back. I always have to count in my head between the two shops. Over half of my technicians are in their 20s right now. So just think about that. And if you look, do you guys know? I always heard the average age was like, what? It's in their 50s, mid 50s.
Yeah,
do you guys
right
know?
now,
The technician.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you guys say that, and half of my technicians are in their 20s, and it's just realizing, like, these guys, it's not that they're not interested, they just don't know, and somebody else is talking them into another industry. They don't even know what they want to do,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because they have no clue the difference between a lineman and a body man. So they got to go figure it out. So putting an ad on Indeed and just hoping they show up is probably not the best move to find new help. That's what we're getting at here.
Yeah, Indeed's always my last place I go. I was like, okay, we haven't hired anybody. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's start looking at Indeed.
Experienced tech needed.
Right.
Yeah.
They all are the same. Experienced tech needed. 3 to 5 years needed.
3 to 5 years. Must be able to blah blah blah.
Pay.
Yeah.
Minuscule to a little more than minuscule.
I like the competitive pay.
Yeah.
like
when they don't have the number there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, for sure.
Are they still doing the we have a heated down there paint booth and the frame machine?
I would imagine they're still doing the same stuff as whatever the normal situation was. But I just remember like a lot of the shops going, well, we hire from Indeed. That's where we get our source from. But it's never really doing any kind of social networking or just local networking or anything in general. Right. They just hope that they just show up and walk in one day and here comes the perfect body guy. Or like you said, stealing from other shops, like, well, they're paying this amount, well, we'll pay you this if you'll just come on over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm all about a technician making more money, and I'm not against that. But as the industry goes, like when a shop starts just stealing fish from another man's pond, you're usually paying them more. You're not really sure what you're getting. I mean, I look back when I was, back in the days, I'm not going to lie, I've hired guys that were, in their 50s, and, I was like, well, shit, I got to pay them more than what they're getting. And then I get them in here and I'm like, well, you ain't half of what I thought you was. Like, I'm like, it's the prima donnas. Is like,
It's
and I was like, it was risky there. And there's a lot of great guys with a lot of experience out there, but then there's guys that you bring in all their bad habits and, everything else. Like, well, this ain't what I want,
Right. As a business person, you really just don't know unless they have, like nowadays, like we have TikTok and videos and stuff that we're putting out and doing stuff, prior to that, you really just had to go on a word, and maybe if they had a friend to come in that wanted to get hired too, he was over here giving you a bunch of yes as well. Like, you can do all that.
Oh yeah.
It's being in an interview is a skill on itself. So you could be good in an interview and not be good at body work, So
yeah, absolutely.
Or vice versa. And you could be horrible in an interview, but then go really be the mud artist of the shop, So it's a risk, I'm sure, hiring somebody. I've never done it. So it's
well, and that's the other piece to that too. Is that, I mean, with the hiring procedure, I mean, like I said, a lot of the guys in their 20s, we don't know what we're getting, but we've built an entry level position. I mean, a lot of shops always hire detailers or after school help, and that's great. I'm 100%. Everybody should have. I don't care, small shop, large shop. You should have at least one high schooler working for you, if not two, if you can afford it.
Mm-hmm.
Get them in there, clean cars at night. I don't care if they're sweeping floors.
Right.
We got one right now, and I'm telling you what, this kid is one of the best workers that I've seen in years. And we're trying to keep him in the automotive side. He's wanting to go into construction, and that's great. If he does, he does. But I was like, and we've had a number of those. It's like so having a high school kid to sweep floors it's not really, do I need it? Yeah, it's nice, but I said it's more of like, can we find that next technician that we're looking for and give him a chance, But we've also
to find somebody with a good work ethic. You can't teach that. The good attitude, you can't teach that. So we could teach you how to do the body work. We could even teach you how to sweep Bondo correctly, because you probably didn't do that correctly first. So it's that's great. I mean, so to always be looking for that young, energetic, motivated individual. That's
right.
And they're out there. I mean, they are out there. I said, you have to be, it's going to the high schools. And our biggest problem now is we probably have more coming to us than I can really handle. Like, I mean, last year we had for about 3 or 4 years, we had 2 high schoolers coming in after school every day. And I said, I can use 1. I really don't need 2.
Right.
But I knew, in this particular example, I knew both kids. I knew their parents. I was like, they're both come from, good work ethic. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hire them both, because one might stay and one might not. Like, so we always look at that,
Yeah.
But even besides detailing and cleaning up, the other thing that we do, a lot of shops won't. I mean, it's. We start them at a either if you're body or paint or however shops do it. Like, we start a kid, if we start a young guy with no experience, I don't care if they're in their mid-20s, we'll start them in disassembly, and that's all they do is disassembly. Or if it's on the paint side, we've done this as well. We start them as a prepper. They're sanding cars, masking cars, teaching them to polish. They might not touch a paint gun for a year. I don't know, but I said I don't know what the number is of maybe half of our technicians that we have now, we've hired and trained in-house without them being in another body shop.
It's easier to train a younger person how you want your stuff done than it is an older person, for sure. So,
those intro roles are important.
They are.
I believe they show your determination. They show your work ethics. And we're not putting a lot of responsibility and risk on you being in those positions.
Yeah, I mean, if you will do good and go, I don't want to say above and beyond, but like if you do over what you need to do in detailing somebody's car and making sure it looks good, then you're probably going to be that way with the next step and then the step after that. So, man, that's a good
Yeah,
indication.
for sure.
As opposed if you
Yeah.
just throw some water on it and you sit down on the bucket and scrolling, you're like, well, that's all they paid me for. Well, easy. It's easy to determine,
It's funny because we just had a young tech start, and he was in the automotive service and field, and so he's like, I want to try this auto body thing. So okay, we'll bring you in, and he was doing that. He was disassembling. And when he didn't have disassemblies, he was helping out with detail. He quit. So this isn't what I was hired for. It's like, well, we know you ain't gonna make it then. If you can't spend some time doing this stuff, we all did it. We all did it at some point. This is part of it. So, Alex has a good comment here.
I just read that.
Yeah.
Barrier to entry for tools, low wages, labor time seems to be a lot of new people. Keep a lot of new people away. Need to have people willing to train new tech. Seems a lot of people with minimal experience left to figure it out. Yep.
That's a big thing right there, because you do. I mean, everybody has to have their own tools, I guess, in a body shop, and it's not cheap to get started out.
No.
Well, it's funny because I said I just had this conversation. My Snap-on rep, me and him are the same age. I've known him for ever.
Mm-hmm.
And you love him or hate him. I got a lot of Snap-on tools. I've supported over the years. I also have Harbor Freight stuff, right? So let's be real here. So 2 years ago, we had an entry-level tech. Again, same song and dance, no money, barely making it by, and we were trying to give this guy a chance. And I've always had like a small shop box, but we was doing this. We was working with Collision Career Institute, trying a new program that they was putting out there, and they wanted me to go buy this whole shop box, fill it with tools. I mean, they even had everything, item numbers, SKU numbers, and it was mostly all from Harbor Freight, right? So their program, and they didn't say you had to do it, but their program was like an 18-month internship. And at the end of the 18 months that you give the technician the tools. That's what they suggested, right?
Right.
I didn't like that suggestion. I liked what they did, but I was like, you know what? Like, I'm all about the toolbox and the shop box, and I never had so we did this, and we bought the nice system. We even bought the memory, what do you call it? The cutaway, the memory, the foam cutouts.
Yeah.
We did it all ourselves to make a really nice shop box.
Wow.
Spent about $3,000 to get any entry level tool to do disassembly. That was it. Long story short, the guy didn't work out, and that wasn't the issue. But that is the shop box, and everybody uses that. And it's just, and not everybody, but guys that have their own tools use that. But like anybody, that's every tool in that box. I mean, you could pretty much do anything in a body shop. So, if a guy starts out, I'm like, right now I got one shop. I got a friend, you'll hear me speak. Me and him, Tim Papp, we teach classes together. He, as far as to buy, no techs have their own tools or toolboxes in their shop. He bought all the tools and toolboxes.
Interesting.
Wow.
I've heard of that before.
Yeah, it's not
and
common.
No, it's not. But I said, I like the idea of it. It's like, here's what you need. I mean, this ain't no showboat, and some guys want to go buy some, Snap-on, Matco, Mac tools, whatever. That's fine. Take them home. But here's everything you need in their shop,
Right.
The young technicians, like I said, I just had this conversation with my Snap-on friend. I said, the young technicians, it ain't like I don't want to date myself, but I can tell you, when I came into the world, you was expected to buy your own tools, and almost everybody in the shop had a Snap-on payment or Mac or Matco payment.
Same here. Yeah.
For 5-10 years.
Right. I know the average for me when I was buying throughout the year would be from $3,000 to $6,000 a year, just depending on what I needed or whatever for the year.
That's about right.
So that, I mean, and that lasted pretty much throughout the whole career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
So
doesn't
I think
stop.
shops I think shops need to also adjust to that too. Like, okay, if a technician doesn't have to, it's different. I mean, they got big cell phone bills, gas prices,
Right.
everything's just different. I ain't saying good, bad, right, or wrong, but I said this is just reality, right? Like,
Mhm.
younger technicians aren't wanting to spend 10 grand on tools or are willing to spend 10 grand on tools. So shops need to adjust as needed. And I'm not saying Harbor, I'm not saying you have to stick with Harbor Freight, but
Yeah.
I'm always been about like getting entry level tools to get you started, then you can figure it out,
Right.
I like
Right.
that. It's because he did make a good point that the cost of tools is a big barrier. So
Right.
that is one thing that shops could do to
Yeah.
lighten the load, for
Mhm.
for a new technician, for sure.
Yeah, and
Right.
I
I
think
like
it
that.
was Alex's comment about the low wage. Well, low wages,
No
and
wages, yeah.
again, depending on where you're at. But I said, I'm looking at the late, teenagers, early 20s.
Mhm.
We've not had a problem competing against factories. I mean, most factories around here are 18 to 20 bucks an hour, and just realize that, we need to be at least there. And I can tell you that I started in a factory for 2 years out of high school. And if I can make the same wage working on cars or I could in a factory, I want to go for the cars all day long. I don't know about
Right.
you guys. Where'd you guys start at?
Passion.
Did you guys start in the same?
I was much less.
I mean, I technically worked in a furniture factory for a little while, making $7.25 an hour, and then I ended up getting into like $13 an hour was like the highest I ever made it there for a little while, and I didn't work there long. So
For me, it was all about what I wanted to do. It wasn't about
Yeah,
the money.
it wasn't
I mean,
about the
so
money.
I didn't
Right.
want to go to college. That was my thing. So it
Mhm.
was okay. What are my options? And I said, well, I love cars. I was
Right.
actually working in a high school as a special services paraprofessional, following kids around to their classes, trying that out. Wasn't for
Mhm.
me. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't for me.
Right.
And as going up and down the hallways of the high school, you see the posters for the trade schools. Okay, I'm gonna take that ticket and I'm gonna go to that trade school. And that was the end of
Yeah,
that.
Right.
yeah.
And it was comparable money. It was just I wanted to work on cars. I wanted to fix cars. I wanted to make cars look great. And fixing a smashed car, still to this day, it just seems like this impossible task. And the
Yep.
fact that I can handle it, no issue. I'm very proud of
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's yeah.
See, I don't think at a young age, I don't think I think kids do. I don't say kids, but I think the young adults do want to know what the career path is.
Mhm.
That's something I've had the conversation. I got a young tech who's 24. I hired him. I think he's 25 now. I hired him when I was 20, and we've had so many sit down conversations, and he's always like, "What's next? What's next? What's
Mhm.
next?" Like he wants a path. And I've noticed that with several of my young techs. It's like
Yeah.
they don't expect. They know they can't get there today or tomorrow, but they also want to know that you do have a path for them, and what's that
Yes.
look
Right.
like, if that makes sense. We
Have you
joked
had
about
any
in one of our.
Have you had any
Yeah, go ahead.
problems with the older body guys trying to run the younger ones off? I have seen that, and not recently, but when I started, that was kind of a thing. I had forgotten all about that until Michael put this up, and I didn't want to just kind of like throw it
Yeah, a
in
little
there.
bit.
But yeah, for a little while, that was a thing, running the younger people off.
And that's a culture thing, and that's you guys had talked about it. I said, the experience of working at different shops, and I said I'd worked at that semi dealership for 9 years, and I said I can tell you everything that happened there was just setting me up for what I love the job. I love painting. I love I love. There was a lot of guys there. I loved it. It was believe this or not, it was 2 shifts. We had day shift and night shift.
Yeah.
I started on second shift, got moved to day shift. I've seen some of the best guys and some of the worst guys that I worked with in those 9 years. When I started my own, I always said, "I'm never gonna let this happen. Never gonna let this happen." Well, guess what? It happened. You end up with those guys.
Right.
You end up with guys that are running people off, that are negative, that are, we say, bitch, moan, complain.
Right.
Me personally, and I can tell you, I can vouch for this. You can ask guys that's worked for me. we address the problem. Sometimes I wait a little too long. I mean, I had one guy that was with me 8 years, and it didn't start bad, but it slowly got worse and worse and worse. And I ended up, I let him go. Like, and I'll say this, he was phenomenal technician, absolutely phenomenal technician. And I said, I couldn't stand the fact to go to work every day, and he literally would run guys off. And we had a few other ones of those, and I said, I don't care how good you know, when they talk about cancer in your shop, it's like, I can't do it. Not here. I mean, I've seen it. I've been there. I had those conversations with my manager when I was working at the place about guys that was going on. They just kind of shrugged it off the show. Where I worked at, it was you're supposed to keep your mouth shut and work, right?
Right.
I wasn't very good at that. Yeah.
Me either.
I was gonna say I don't think you guys are probably very good at that either.
No.
I was a terrible employee. I'll just be straight up. That's horrible.
So you touched on the point of cleaning some toxic out of your shop, and I believe that's a huge part of retaining your good employees. And I would like to know if you have any other specific things you do in order to hold on to your employees and preemptively before they give you their notice, and you just start throwing money at them, you know, like.
Again, I'm going to kind of address more the younger technician side of it. The younger technicians that I found, they want that career path. They want the education piece. The particular kid I was talking about earlier, he's been with me. He just hit his 5-year mark, I think. We had invested in him. You guys are doing paintless dent repair. I assume you're familiar with BTAG and Kiko.
Oh yeah.
But we've sent him. He was the first student to go through BTAG's, both of their OPRS training and also their SRS, the structural programs.
Good programs.
Those two programs together were about 20 grand, right? It's expensive. Luckily, I'm not gonna sit here and lie about it. Like there's a state program. I got some reimbursement from that stuff, but I did, neither here nor there. They seek training. They want the education. They want it's just, I don't say it's different, because there's some guys that's, in their 50s that still seek training. Right. And some guys in their 50s, you could never get them to, couldn't force training down them.
It makes it interesting. It makes you want to go to work, and you're learning from a toxic free environment. Like nobody's going to down you for knowing some of this stuff or not knowing some of it, or learning new techniques, where if you're at a shop, that's probably going to happen 9 times out of 10, if you're,
No, and that's what I look at it. I said, because it's the retention piece is hard. I mean, I had a guy quit 6 months ago, a painter, and I'll be honest with you, he was a good painter. I didn't want him to leave, but I typically won't throw money at techs. And I said, I'm not saying I usually pay them what they're worth at that time, and there's always times where I feel like they're worth more, and they get the ongoing raises. Whether you're hourly or commission or flat rate, it doesn't matter.
But can I just point out, ongoing raises is something I've never seen, ever. No, that's true. One of the shops did do it. One of the shops I've worked at did do it. But most of them don't want to give you $1 until you threaten to leave. So
right. Yeah, I've seen that. There. Yeah, I've seen that too. I mean, even where I used to work at, I've seen that too as well. And I said, I didn't. I know the day that I gave my notice after 9 years, they got a considerable raise, and I was, like, part of me was like, it's great to get the money, but part of me, it kind of pissed me off at the same time. Like, why am I worth this now?
Right. And the way to get raises is, I need a raise. Let me go find another job real quick. Right. And that's literally that's just became the norm. And it's like they'll offer me more money and I'll stay. And that was it. And it would happen every time.
Every time. Yeah, I was just going to touch on that same thing. I mean, that's what people do to get a raise, and that's wild that you have to do that.
It shouldn't have to be, because we made it, and it's a flyer, but it's not like I put a lot of thought into this, and I got, it's kind of like it's kind of like your app. When you play your games, you know, we're all growing up. I mean, hell, even adults, you're playing the games and you want to get to the next level, right? You know, I'm on level 1, I get to 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. So we created a flyer, and it's like the different stages of a technician. And it's like,
Growth.
okay, well, you start here, here's level 1. And we even give a guide as far as you're going to make, you know, you're going to start at 16 to 18 bucks an hour. That's level 1, no experience. You know, level 2 is, we want you to be able to do disassembly or prep, blah, blah, blah. Level 3, and then we dive into the efficiency, level 4 and level 5. Like, okay, well, if you can do all the skills that we need you to do, but you're 100% efficient. You know, you can look at this, whether it's, you know, hourly or a flat rate. I mean, there's different ways to look at this. But the point being is, like, I can sit down, and I've done this with a technician. I'm like, here's where you're at. Like, here's where you're at. I mean, I'm not smoking beers here. Like, once we can get here, you got to do this to get here. And once you can show me that, then, you know, then we'll give you a raise. Like, and that's what we do to have those conversations. Because I said, it's just the next generation, you know, in my day, like I said, not to date myself, but I said, back in my day, you worked hard and you hope you get a raise, or you had to quit, or you had to threaten, you know. Right.
That's yeah, it's refreshing to hear. So, you know, I applaud you for what you're doing. It sounds like you're doing kind of regular reviews with your employees. I mean, that's necessary. It's absolutely necessary. And to let them not only just you know, the main part is to let them know where they're standing. You know, when you're an employee showing up every day, leaving every day, and you're not hearing everything, it can be easy to get in your head and go, hey, he looked at me a little weird that morning. Am I on a chopping block? You know, like, what's going on? You know, like, I seen you guys being interviewed. And
in tune with the body shop, though, communication. I mean,
communication.
You hear a lot of people say communication is key, and then nobody communicates. Or if they do, it's a one-sided communication. Like, it's pretty much like a lecture. It's not a communication.
Right.
If you do it, I say we'll get along just fine.
Right. And lots of people have, especially outside perspectives, can have some really good opinions and insights on things that you may not be able to see. So, yeah, I wouldn't. I know a lot of shops kind of steer away from that, and I don't know. I feel like a lot of them could do a lot better if they would just listen themselves, and, you know.
Yeah. Communication.
Communication.
And that's not going out in the shop and saying, hey, how you doing? You know, because that's not the environment for a technician to go, oh, actually really shitty, this guy's being real dick, you know, and like, you know, like that's not when it's going to happen. You know?
Right.
So,
you need to fire this guy right now. He's terrible.
It's not going to come up in the shop. So no, that's really, I like that. So you touched on the growth. You have a well thought out, you know, path for a person through your company. I like that, the retention thing that you said. I mean, if you're not just going to throw money at people, it's not. They shouldn't be expecting that, you know. So it just ends that right there.
Right.
And it, like I said, we've had employees, you know, like I said, we're not perfect. We have employees quit, and I said it depends on what they're, you know, what they're going after, and it happens. But it's usually, I don't feel like it's usually about the money. I mean, money may be discussed, but, and I also look at you, Nick, you mentioned earlier that you're right now, the 4-day work week, or is that you?
Yep. Yeah. That's me.
Yeah. And I said that was another one of those things. And I said, if your shop's doing something like that, we're doing a 4.5 day. So my guys are done at noon on Fridays, but we also don't have a stipulation on what hours you work. So I got some guys that come in at 6 in the morning, from 6:30, 7, all the way up to 8 o'clock. You know, I'm not here to babysit you. Like, we got work to do. You know what to do. Like, if it works better for your family life to come in at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, I don't care. Like, and then we offered, and we offered to do, we didn't go to the 4-day work week, but we're, like I said, I got a couple guys that will stay on Friday afternoons, but most of my guys are done by noon on Fridays because they got their hour, enough hours in. So
You got pretty flexible hours, in other words. I mean, that's good to have. I mean, you can have a really good crew and then like be whiny about the smallest thing. Like you didn't get here at exactly 8, so we're going to be hateful to everybody all day. But whether it's 8, 7, 6, or 5 doesn't matter. But if they get the stuff done in a
Do your
timely manner,
time, get your work
that's
done.
really what matters.
If they can agree, we had a young kid. We had a young kid. He came out of college for 2 years, auto body. We was really like trying to give him. He couldn't get to work on time. Right? He was coming. We had him coming in at 8, and he couldn't get to work on time. And I'm literally sitting down. I'm like, all right, if he can't get here at 8, then be here at 8:15 or 8:30. I said, I don't care. Like it was funny because I said no matter what time we gave him, he still couldn't be here, and it didn't work out. But I was like, dude, I don't care. Like if you want to sleep in, if you're not a morning person, that's fine. But I still want you to put in your 8 or 9 hours, like whatever it is,
Right.
Cass makes a good point here.
Yeah, she does.
When I started, I was told if you don't hear anything bad, you're doing good. But a simple compliment can go a long way. Huge.
Right.
If I don't hear anything bad, it's in my head. The bad's in my head. So yeah, it's bad. A simple compliment can go a huge way. And I'm going to bring up something that I've said many times on this show. And you're an owner of a shop, so maybe you'll benefit from this. Technicians love hearing you did a great job on that one, on that specific one, on that one. It doesn't matter which one you did that one. It came out great. Now, a boss telling them on every job, it can get old, it can get stale, yada yada.
Right.
If I'm in the office and a customer's picking up their car, 90% of the time as they're leaving, you're going, it looks great. Tell the technician that they said that.
Yeah,
It means the world to me when I hear that the customer liked the job. And it would cost the shop nothing to tell me that.
It's a confidence booster. It really is. It really is.
That is good. It's a good reminder even for me as the owner, because I said I'm guilty of that many times. I said you come and you expect it, and I do agree with you. They do need to hear it, and like I said, I can do better at that myself. That's probably one of the weaknesses that I have.
My favorite part of my PDR jobs is showing them the finished result and hearing them react to it. So, it's
right.
Good.
Yeah, you kind of skip the middleman.
Oh, it's it's my I had one customer try and pay me and not go look at it. I said, no, you gotta come over and look at it. This is my favorite part. You gotta come look at it. Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah. I just expected it to be good. It's like,
yeah, I know.
Yeah, well, like you mentioned, this is art. It's not just there's not really a booklet on how to do all. There's a booklet on how to take an intake off of an engine, but there's not really a booklet on how to fix some of these repairs. So that puts it in the art category. And when somebody says that, hey, you guys done a great job on this. Well, whoever was involved in all this would like to hear that, whether you think they would or wouldn't.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. My manager does a really good job about that. And I said, it's funny, but not funny. And I said, I love and hate it because we get so many compliments on the detailer. Oh my God, my car's so clean. And I was like, dude, we just put a quarter panel and a rear panel on your car. We just did $15,000 of work. And I was like,
right.
And the detailer gets all the credit,
Right.
Or the customer service.
That's the body man's gripe right there. I mean, I do all this body work. I do all this. I took it apart. I did all the body work. I measured it. I pulled it. I sent it to paint. I get it back from paint. I put it all together. And they say, oh, the paint looks great.
I know.
I mean, painting's not easy but come on.
Yeah. Well, it's a reminder that everybody needs to hear that, though. That's a very good point.
Yeah. Well, the last thing you do is the first thing you see, ain't that what they say?
Yeah.
Last
you're
thing
right.
you do is the first thing they see.
Yeah. That's pretty much the mindset of
I get it.
Car owners when they pick their car up. That's why the detailer gets so many compliments, because they've seen it trashy, but they see it now and it's clean, it's looking good, it's not wrecked anymore.
we joke about it, and it's a good laugh because our customer service, it's my sister, but she's been here for 17 years, and her name is mentioned on our Google reviews more than anybody. Anything.
Yeah.
Not. Well, we got a lot of. Car looks great, quality work, great team, great staff, and it's like Carla. Like you can go through our 300 some reviews, and you'll see her name mentioned probably 50 times, and it's like,
Yeah.
So we have our team meetings. We're like, hey guys, Carla did another good job on this one. Like,
Right.
Do you have AI responding to your Google reviews too? Because
no, I need to. Not yet.
on mine, it's been a little bit funny. I had one customer say, this man is Merlin, because they were saying like I did magic to their vehicle. So AI responded, we're glad that Merlin did great work to your vehicle.
Awesome. I love it.
So I had to go and edit that one.
Yeah,
That's
I
not
gotta
my
be.
name.
Yeah, for sure.
It's been interesting for sure. But
Yeah.
it's funny the effects that that kind of stuff will have. Well, Mark, an hour flew by. I really appreciate you coming on. We got to hit just about everything that I wanted to hit on. If people are in your area and they need body work, you own Probst Auto Body. And what area are you in? I don't think we ever hit that.
It's mid to southern Illinois, Dietrich, Illinois, and Flora, Illinois. 2 locations.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. And
Awesome.
we still got the giveaways going on the Meta platforms. Make sure you go hit those. Am I missing anything, Nick?
I don't think so. That's pretty much it.
All right. Don't sign off yet, Mark. We're gonna talk to you after we sign out here. Everybody else, have a great week. We'll see you next week.
See you guys. See you Monday.
So crank it up loud.